What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? Wayne here, also known possibly as Media Clash, host of the Media Clash podcast. As you can see, nope, that way, right there, since 2016, technically December 2015. But either way, today we're going to do the second episode of the Media Clash toy box, and it is a double feature. The first of which may not make too many Hasbros that happy, and maybe some of the people in the toy community in large very happy, and that's because we are going to talk about this. Yes, we are talking about Shockwave and the Night Pursuit, the Night Force edition. I picked this up like a lot of people did on the pre-order. That went down to $38 from the regular $55 over on Walmart. And let me get this straight out of the box. I love the Shockwave figure. But I love this figure. I love the color scheme of this figure. I love the helmet that comes with it. The hat. I need some. Can we get some hats like this to go on some Valaverse heads? But yeah, this figure is absolutely awesome. I bought them to go with the rest of my Night Force stuff. You may have seen I had it streaming with some music. These are gonna go well with my Night Ops, Steel Brigades, because again, my main focus is Action Force, and I got G.I. Joe to kind of, the classifieds to kind of fill in the ranks. So what is wrong with this set? And it's not Shockwave. Shockwave is great. It is this. Absolute garbage of a motorcycle. The only thing I can really find that goes with this in the real world sense is like a BMW, not dirt bike, but one of those like long haul cruising bikes, because they sit up tall like a they sit up tall like a dirt bike, but they aren't dirt bikes. And clearly this is supposed to have dirt bike tires, these big stupid thick tires. But this is all supposed to be like an off-road, all-terrain kind of motorcycle, which then makes no sense that it has exhaust pipes that are that close to the ground. I know what you're saying. Oh, it's da-da-da. No. I am a gearhead along with a toy collector. You don't put pipes down here if you're going to go off-road. Like, that's just... You don't do it. Just like off-road vehicles have higher suspensions and exhaust that usually if you really are going to take your car off-road, your exhaust takes an angle going up so nothing can get in it. The other big issue with this bike, and I said it when I got the original with Breaker, the G.I. Joes ride it as if it was a scooter. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Look at how he's like straight back, knees at a 90. That's not how you would ride this bike. It's like they saw the Deadpool and Squirrel Girl scooters and said that works. We'll fill in this gap right here, which is quite sad because let me let you in on a little secret. Hasbro has made a better motorcycle. They've made a couple of different ones, and this is usually what I would give to Pandora, the Black Widow motorcycle, which Don't know why. Doesn't want to stand up on its peg all that well anymore. There we go. So just look at the difference between these two. And you'll see there's definitely a seat height difference. There is a riding position difference. Whereas when you lean forward, when you put a figure on the Black Widow bike, they kind of lean forward like they're supposed to grab the handlebars so their legs kick out and go at an angle. Whereas these, you just kind of like straight arm, and you know, this is a bad design of a vehicle. And I don't care if it looks like the original from the 80s. That was intended for a figure that had way less articulation. The other thing I'm not really a fan of on this is the actual machine gun mount on the side. Just makes no sense. And I think this is where we might have seen the reason for the reduction in pre-order price. That one doesn't have a lock pin in it like this one does. See, that wheel is on there and it's not going to come out because it has the pin. This one does not. And if you've seen other people online and their reviews for it, it goes flying usually when they grab it to take it out of the box. Is it a $20 or a $20 price reduction? No, but is the quality of this bike grounds for a $20 price reduction? Yes, this bike is quite horrible. I will just say, like, okay, I didn't pay full price for either one of these. I bought this one at a convention, and I paid like $30 for it. It was sealed in box, but this was a while after it had come out. And I was just looking for other little small vehicles to put with my stuff. So I bought it. And not only is this a disappointment, but the breaker that came with the bike, his vest sucked. So I cut it off. And when I cut it off, his ab articulation was so bad, the figure itself just flopped around. So yeah, that figure, it's in a box off to the side. I'm not even going to attempt to do anything with it until I get a decent Vala gear set to put on him and do it that way. Now, what's crazy is Hasbro does this, right? They make this. This is bad. We've established this is good. They've made other good motorcycles for their Marvel Legends lines, Wolverine's motorcycle, the new Ghost Rider motorcycle that some people have already gotten. But this is just bad. Like, you don't ride, especially an all-terrain vehicle. Like, I think what they intended was like, oh, when they see people riding dirt bikes and things, they're standing up and holding it, and, you know, yada. Because I'm pretty sure the Tiger Force Duke one looked like that on the package, and I don't remember what the illustration was on the Breaker one. But in another sense of irony that escapes Hasbro and the Hasbros, the package art for this bike is also very misleading, as it has him in a pose that he cannot get into. You cannot stand this figure up like this. This is a render. This is not an actual figure, because the seat is higher than the crotch. His foot is almost on the ground, basically. This leg looks awfully wonky, and there's no other leg, which should be dangling down. So yeah, this is not a real image. This is a digital render, because the proportion of this bike actually fits the figure. That's not what we got. If you tried that pose with this bike, it would not work, because like literally he should be able to do that right now. Like the pose that's on the box. That's what happens to the bike if you do that. If you try and recreate that pose, the bike leans all the way over. You cannot Akira slide this bike because it would fall flat to the side. So, in conclusion, oh wait, no. There's one thing else I wanted to show. Here's Hasbro's in-house 112 scale motorcycle. It fits their own figures horribly. Here he is with a Steel Brigade on him, and look at that. If I wanted to, I can move his foot down and it'll actually touch the ground. Can't on here, but I can on this figure that was intended for a 7-inch figure. This is intended for a 6-inch figure. Doesn't work. This, that was intended for a 7-inch figure, works. It's just amazing where Hasbro cuts corners and where they don't. Like, Shockwave looks awesome. The paint job on this bike is awesome. If you gave me a appropriately proportioned off-road bike, I would be happy. This has a cruiser exhaust pipes. A cruiser like stance. Like this is not a off-road vehicle suspension. Little bitty tiny ass seat. Little, even though, you know, the McFarlane has a little tiny seat too, because, you know, action figure thigh gaps aren't they're not really realistic. How you would actually sit on a seat. But if you gave me an actual off-road-ish vehicle with this paint scheme and all that, I'd say it was great. But this is a street cruiser with goofy-ass tires on it. Like, the front tire is the same size. Like, this isn't how... You know, you might find some bikes that have the same front and back tire size. Some. But you're talking about a dirt bike, you know, an off-road bike. Most motorcycles, the back rim is not as big as the front rim. The tires are these tires are definitely way too thick. There's just all kind of stuff wrong with this bike. This bike is basically, this and the original are literally just going to be background. Like, I'm never going to pose this with anybody on it. Whereas this Steel Brigade has been on this White Knight Bat Cycle for probably a year. I have 3 of these. I have a male Steel Brigade on this one. I have a female Steel Brigade on a second one. And then I have a third one that I'm going to use because I will eventually be switching these Steel Brigades out for the Night Ops Steel Brigades to go on these. And these will get some black paint touch-ups to go with it. But, yeah, so... Is Shockwave and the Night Pursuit worth the money? So yeah, I would say this is worth it if you like the bike. If if you're not a fan of the bike, $38, you know, he did come with a bunch of accessories, but, you know, it's not, they're not that important. With that being said, so yeah, pick it up if you want it. I'm never going to tell somebody not to buy something they want. But, you know, you might wait. You might find this on clearance because, again, it has the wheel issue. And I don't think a lot of people, like, the bike's just horrible. It really is. And I'm in it strictly for the figure. So from bad Hasbro to good Hasbro, which is quite hilarious that there's two internal teams in Hasbro that get things so differently, whether right or wrong. And I am talking about these guys who just came in today. You're like, wait, it's just some Transformers. Oh, no, no, no. What does that say? That, my friend, says GOBOTS. So, strange thing that goes on with the GOBOTS is that Hasbro owns the character names. They do not own the character designs. They own the IP, the story, the names, that stuff. They don't own the character designs. I'm pretty sure Tonka still owns that. Which is going to be up for grabs because Mattel seems to be going out of business. There is some interest in a investment firm buying them, but we all know how that goes. Things usually don't work out all that well, and you know they'll try and sell off some stuff to make some profit off of it. But let's open this up and we will see how they look. So here we have the GOBOTS. And they are repaints of other figures, which is crazy because I've yet to get my pre-order for the Transformers version of this, the Gears, but I got this first. This is a repaint of Cosmos, repaint of Gears, repaint of... So this is GOBOT Treads, this is GOBOT Pathfinder, and this is GOBOT... No, this is Smallfoot, and this is Pathfinder. And this is an awesome set. It really is. Go back to this. So they've already put out two other GOBOTs. So we have Crasher and we have Bugbite. And these two are awesome. This is a repaint of Warpath, repaint of Gears, repaint of Cosmo, repaint of Bumblebee, repaint of Mirage. But they are GOBOT characters. Crasher, Bugbite. Crasher was a pretty important, character in the cartoon. My insulin pump is telling me something. This is kind of cool. I love what Hasbro does with this. I wish they had the rights to the original character designs, and like I said, we may end up having, if Hasbro can get the investment firm to sell them the actual character designs, then we may get some show accurate versions. But this is what we have for now, and I think this is pretty awesome. So let me get these out and we will show them off a little bit better. All right, so in here we have Pathfinder, Smallfoot, and Treads. What's weird, the Treads has a Decepticon logo on him, even though he is supposed to be an Autobot. He is undercover, according to the lore that is written for these toys. And another fun fact, this Cosmo, I haven't even opened the original Speedia 500 Cosmo. That is sitting on my shelf over there. I can see it right there. I have not opened it because it still goes for a pretty good bit of money, and I still have a whole bunch of boxes I have not opened. Like I said, this is the Gears repaint, but it has a different head, and yeah, this, I haven't gotten this. My pre-order is marked for November. I think I'm going to try and start going to Walmart and seeing if that has shown up. But these three are awesome. Put Crasher in there and put Bug Bite over here. And I also know what you're saying, like, well, you can transform them. I do not transform my Transformers. Very rarely do I do that. Because, I don't know, I'm in it for the giant robots. And I'm a scale, like, it bugs me that when you transform them, all the vehicles are in way different scales. Now, I do wish these, to nitpick on, that's better, to kind of nitpick on the current scaling, and it goes back to the cartoon and stuff too. I do think the mini bots should be taller. The deluxes, like, this is a regular size deluxe, and they're still towered over by Optimus. Like, so yeah, I do think they should be a bit taller, a little bit bigger in scale, but it gives for some pretty dynamic setups, whereas my setup is kind of just like all of them are up on the shelf. These guys will go, I'm not sure where these guys will go. They'll probably go on these two have spots already on my Decepticon main shelf. These three will more than likely go, I have a step down shelf with a lot of repaints and stuff on it. That'll be where they go. But I really like this set, and it's, the colors, these are accurate colors. These bots were, I think, a BotCon comic exclusive, so they were kind of repaints of actual figures, and the exclusives were repaints of the old G1 figures. But so these don't technically have, these four don't technically have GoBot alt modes that would look different than this. Crasher does. So we need to get, hopefully one day we'll get an actual Crasher that looks like Crasher, or, we'll just, she does have, a Crasher-esque head, but yeah, these are awesome. These are definitely worth getting. The box set was like $75 or $79, which really makes no sense. These are like $24 a piece. I think these were $75, not $79. But yeah, like these are awesome. And like I said, they'll go in a pretty, I'll find a good spot for them on the shelf. They'll go on the second shelf because I do have stuff at the top. Then I have all my main cast G1, and then the step down has a lot of the alternate paint schemes. Oh wait, there is one more. I forgot. This guy is also a GoBot. And he came in a 2-pack with a pipes repaint. So yeah, we like, so they're giving us, a good bit of, they've got the names. So they've got to use them or they lose them. That's how copyright works. Or trademark works, I'm sorry. That's how the trademarks work. You have to use it or you lose it. So, yeah, overall, these are awesome. But it kind of goes to show that Hasbro is definitely a company of different, I guess, levels of love. The guys that work on the Transformers line seem to really be into it more than the guys that work on the classified line. I don't get the same kind of love from Lenny that I do Evan and that on the Transformers team. So it's just really weird. And I do know a lot of people complain about the Transformers. There's a lot of repaints and stuff like that. But, you know, hey, at least a repaint in a Transformer is a completely different character. Not just, hey, here is, you know, like we showed earlier, you know, here is Night Force, Shockwave, regular Shockwave. Now, granted, the legs on this one are different than the legs on this one. This one has pins. This one doesn't. But I mean, other than that, they are pretty much the same. And sometimes it's not worth it. So, yeah, with that being said, this has been the Media Clash Toy Box. I am Wayne, also sometimes known as just straight up Media Clash in the toy community. If you see me in other live streams. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, share the video if you want. You want to make fun of me? I don't care. Just leave me some feedback in the comments. So until next time, later.